Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius. But before we do that, let me just remind all of my watchers that I'm giving away this beautiful Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle deck. This is my first gift to my audience for Christmas, my first Christmas on YouTube. And so therefore, all you need to do is be subscribed and let me know in a comment that you're interested, just so that I'm giving it to someone who's going to make use of it. And so let's get right into it, Aquarius. All right, shout out to all my lovely Aquarius watchers and subscribers who come out for me, support me. You guys are one of my strongest, collective. You and the Cancers always come out strong. Virgo comes out strong. Taurus is coming out strong. My Scorpios have been coming out strong. So thank you so much to all of you and to everyone really who's watching my channel. I do appreciate everything that you've done by just simply taking time out to give my videos a chance to take a moment to watch them and see if they even resonate with you. And that's all I can even ask for anyone to do. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get right into pulling out your romance angel messages. Free yourself, one of my favorite cards in the deck, Aquarius. And of course, we have chemistry. I love the strong magnetic attraction. And we have flirt. So some of you are flirting. Some of you are really freeing yourself. You may be having a nice romantic week with your lover. Some of you may have just met someone and chemistry is really off the hook, right? But these messages are pretty straightforward. We won't really know what they mean to you until we pull out your spread. So let's get into your animal messages next. Now, your animal spirits can be energies, like I always say, that it could become available to you. Animal spirits can indicate personality types or character traits that someone is resonating with. And they can indicate stages and paths in your life that you might be entering into, or energies that are becoming available to help you on those paths as well, right? So in any case, the way it resonates with you is up to you. Just take what applies to you and let the rest go. Straight out, we have fire and, of course, fire energy. Very heated, obviously. And we have the earthworm associated with earth energy. And we have the hawk, which is, of course, air energy. The hawk is one that has come out quite a lot. Let's go ahead and get into these animal spirits. So the fire ant is associated with someone who's very heated, irritable, temperamental. This is someone who really needs things to be very rigid and sort of follows commands very easily. They need to be told what to do. When things don't work out their way, they can get very sort of agitated. You know, this is the person who, they like to follow the orders. They like to follow orders. They're very much soldiers sort of in their mind, in the way they think, in the way they sort of go through life. And everything has to be very orderly for this person, or else they don't function very well. This is also somebody who gets really caught up on this too much, and oftentimes can become very rigid and uncompromising, and therefore very irritable when anything sort of questions that status quo for them. Somebody's resonating with this. The best thing you can do for a fire ant energy individual is to give them space, just as we would with fire ants in the wild. There's nothing you can really do to calm them down. And if you're beginning to resonate with this kind of energy yourself, then it's time for you to take a step back from the world and everyone, and get yourself into a cooler space of mind, a cooler environment. Try to avoid extremes, right? And just try to meditate and cool down. Even eating such things as cooler foods, salads, and things like that could really help. Fruit. Now, earthworm energy is an earth element, of course, and the earthworm indicates, it's kind of like the initiator, right? The initiate, the beginner, the person who has just started a journey and feels very sort of unexperienced, right? They're a little bit sort of shy. They feel perhaps little self-esteem issues right now because they're the ones in the group that are very new. This is someone who's just starting perhaps at a particular job. You may have just graduated and now this is your first job. Or you may have just started a particular training course and now you're studying with people and everybody seems to know so much more than you. It's just a very sort of like insecure feeling that the earthworm brings, and it's a natural one though. This is a natural feeling that many people, anyone who is an initiate or a student or a beginner at something, when something that's important to you, generally this can indicate something that you're doing that's creative as well. So if you're beginning to learn how to sing or dance or write or what have you, something, because of course these rainbow colors always indicate something that's going to be very creative, right? And so try not to be too disheartened. Everyone has to start somewhere, Aquarius, and even if you have felt like you've been a master for a long time in your area, sometimes you can have this big fish, small bowl mentality. You may be a big fish in a very small pond that you're in, or small bowl that you're in. But when you go to a bigger pond, you suddenly become a smaller fish. And so we all kind of go through stages in our lives where where we're the new person on the block, or we're the new fish at that status level, especially if you're raising up your status. If you're suddenly coming into money or fame or fortune or success and you're raising your status, you may be coming into a new sort of level in society or social group in society that, you feel kind of out of sorts with. You're like, this is not me. I'm not used to this. And of course, you have to, again, this is all about just finding your way, and realizing that everyone has to start somewhere and that it's never easy. Now, the hawk comes in with air energy, and the hawk is the type of beautiful animal spirit that comes in at a time when we need clarity, right? Because the hawk sees everything. The hawk can see the little details as well as the big picture. And so in this way, the hawk has keen insight. He's ever watchful, always circling. The hawk also can be synonymous with the eyes of fate being on you, right? So fate, destiny has plans for you. And right now is a time where things may be beginning to happen that seem like they're very divinely led because fate has its eyes on you. This is also one of these animal spirits that can bring messages, right? There's some animal spirits like the lamb and the hawk and the crow that are also associated with totems that allow messages to come in from the divine, from the spirit, from our ancestors, from our angels, our guardian angels, whatever whatever construct it is that you believe in your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs about that side of life, right? The beyond, right? Piercing the veil, as it were, right? Messages that may come from that dimension or that plane of existence. There are animal spirits that have an energy of bringing messages in or helping to bring messages in, helping you to hear messages that may be coming in. Important messages, ideas, understandings, epiphanies, inspirations, understandings of a situation, solutions. All of these are wisdom, all of these are examples of different types of messages that can come into you or that you can become aware of as a result of perhaps, the veil coming in, the divine coming in to touch you, to let you know, to give you a helping hand. This is what we talk about with these animal spirits, right? So in this case, we're talking about you also being very watchful right now for signs and omens that will come into your life that may help you to make the right decisions about which way to go, right? In a particular area, or which course of action to take, which next decision to take, or just to give you a little bit of clarity or inspiration, So keep your eyes open, keep your intention and your focus, sharp, right? Because right now is a very important time in your life, Aquarius. All right, let's get into your spreads. We're going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 6 3-card spreads. My regulars know how we do this. And these spreads are going to be forecasts for the week of what you may or may not be going through. And of course, you may resonate it, you may not. And if, whatever you resonate with, that's great. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. All right, my lovely Aquarius. Let's get right into your reading. Judgment. It's coming out a lot lately. 2 of Cups and 5 of Cups. Some of you are coming into this week really reanalyzing or reevaluating a situation that happened, right? You're beginning to look at it from different sides and maybe let go of a little bit of your overcritical sort of judgment. You may have just regretted a particular decision, or you're just feeling a little bit sort of inclined to sort of review something, review some judgment that you came to or a decision that you came to. You're coming into the week with this feeling, and of course you're met with a Two of Cups. And I'm going to say you may be coming into this week with this feeling of revisiting something, perhaps even a feeling of reconciliation with someone. And although you're met with that person and you may have a nice meeting, you end the week feeling very sort of sad. And I think that it may be that for some of you, the reconciliation just doesn't happen. For some of you, you may come out this week just feeling like, it just didn't work. Because Five of Cups talks about really regretting the past or regretting the way something ended, right? That's a little bit better. So it's a shame that you really kind of end the week on that note. And I've got to say that for some of you, you meet your lover with this at first. It's one of those things. You start off, you meet, you may be thinking that things are going great. But then as you begin to discuss things, it just takes a turn, and it doesn't come out the way you expected. Despite you feeling as though you were willing to perhaps reconcile, you're willing to perhaps to, revisit something, you were willing with this Judgment card, because that's what Judgment is about. It's about, discerning a situation from a different point of view and really being much more critical in a healthy way, right? Being more open, being less sort of critical, sort of from an egotistic point of view, but really discerning the situation for what it truly is, right? And perhaps sometimes that also can mean reconciling or apologizing if you got it wrong, letting go of guilt or letting go of blame as well. But yet you try your best to do this and it just doesn't work out. Some of you are just going to have to deal with the fact that for some of you, this relationship, you still end up feeling a lot of regret by the end of the week. And it isn't that you necessarily break up, but you still feel regret. So maybe something about it just is not fixable or has not been able to come back to where it was. Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower moments. So some of you come into this week feeling very practical. You're working very practically to sort of, progress your goal forward. You may be just going to work or in your business or whatever the case may be. Page of Pentacles talks about having a real sort of a practical outlook, a day-to-day sort of okay, this is what I need to do, having a plan, having a real sort of plan for what it is you need to get done, right? You may be coming into the week with that as well, a real sort of a strategy or schedule or plan or outline of how you want to do everything this week. And you're feeling sort of very enthusiastic about it all, right? And you just want to go forward. You want to begin to take the steps towards a particular goal. You may be having certain conversations this week, business conversations or meetings with people that are sort of the first steps towards something. In any case, it's very nice and exciting. It's very positive energy. And you come into a beautiful Wheel of Fortune. So events happen this week. Good events come into you this week that are very lucky, very fated with this hawk, and you paying attention to them, making the most out of them. You do end the week with a Tower moment, but a Tower moment is always a good thing because, it's the divine coming in to shake up your world and to show you that life can be very different than your sort of limited sort of tower that you have constructed, right? And so this is going to be a breakthrough for some of you. It's also going to feel like a feeling of freeing yourself for some of you from a particular situation. Could be that you come into the week really trying to have to come up with solutions to some obstacles that may be in your way, which Page of Pentacles is also that person who can be quite the practical helper. But then when these beautiful opportunities, these fated sort of very lucky opportunities come in and you see them and make the most out of them, it's like your whole life changes. The whole scenario changes with that Tower moment. The World, Five of Pentacles, and Ten of Pentacles. Some of you are feeling exactly like you are where you're supposed to be with this world this week. You're riding very, very high in terms of, again, the world is associated with fate and destiny because it feels like fate is really just working in your favor. Everything seems to be working in concert for your benefit, right? things just seem to be happening, you know. It's not rolling back, it just keeps rolling forward. And so you're feeling like everything is really meant to be, right? And this is the energy of the world card, this dancing on, you know, the world is your oyster, you know. But you come into this Five of Pentacles, and somewhere along the line there is a dynamic split. You may be dealing with somebody who's going through this, Aquarius. Maybe a friend of yours or someone that's going through this, or you may deal with this. It's strange because Five of Pentacles does talk about a power dynamic that results in you really paying the price after sort of a split or a divide and being ostracized. You no longer sort of can depend on the support of the group because you're out of the group, and you really are having to pick yourself back up. And some of you are coming into this energy this week, right? But you round the week off with a really positive Ten of Pentacles. And I'm going to say, I think for some of you, this is someone that you meet this week. And you meet them as a result of this event that has happened in their life. They have gone through this power struggle. But this person in this meeting, this person is a really divine moment. It may be that there's some chemistry between the two of you, right? But something happens here with this individual that just becomes a Ten of Pentacles for you. And I think in a lot of ways it could be the chemistry, the connection. But somehow this meeting feels absolutely like a destiny meeting. And it's because it's funny because Aquarius, you're on top of the world right now. And the person that you're running into this week who's resonating with this Five of Pentacles, this energy, is someone who isn't doing so well right now. They're having to pick themselves up, but they have great potential. And it doesn't mean that they're a loser or they're, you know what I mean, or they're bad or anything like that. It just means that they're in a kind of, they're in one of the lows instead of the highs, but they are an absolute blessing to come across, right? And the way you guys meet each other, it could just very well be that you helping them turns into them really being a huge help to you in a way that you never, ever, ever expected. Very, very nice chance meeting. King of Wands, Five of Swords, and Six of Wands. So more fives, more power struggle. You come into this week really fixed on your ambition, your objective, your goal, right? You are absolutely determined to go after it, and you will do it, everything that you need to do. You have your idea, and you're following it through. You know, the King of Wands is a very go out and follow your ambitions and your dreams. He's already had some experience with manifesting his goals. You've already learned how to do this before, but you're going back out there on another sort of ambitious endeavor. But you're met with a Five of Swords, which is there are people who are coming up against you, are very sort of antagonistic. They want to battle with you. They want to sort of, you know, argue with you. It could be a lot of sort of back and forth. They're trying to sort of cut you down, you know, and a lot of it will be sort of backstabbing, malicious sort of speech or communication, gossip. You know, Five of Swords is someone who doesn't play fairly. But what you do is you take the high road and you come out this week with a great victory. You just take the high road, Aquarius. You just don't engage with them. And this could be somebody who's resonating with fire and energy. Who's just trying to goad you. Someone who's trying to antagonize you or get you off your square. And you just don't go for it at all. You know what I'm saying? And so as a result of taking the high road, because five is like a defeat, but it's a defeat where you say, ugh, I'd rather you win than for me to lower myself. And so you come through with this beautiful victory at the end of the week, you know. And I'm going to say it definitely has something to do with this power struggle and the way you handle it. And it really all works out in your favor. And it definitely works towards your favor with whatever this objective or this endeavor you're trying to accomplish. This little tete-a-tete that you have in the way you handle it ends up putting you in a perfect position to accomplish or to get closer to your goal here with this victory. Ten of Wands, Hermit energy, and the Empress. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. This is going to be the last one. Ten of Wands is a feeling of letting it go. Something in your life has become so oppressive, a certain burden, or some baggage you've been carrying or holding on has become so oppressive that it's time to lay it down. And this week you really sort of do that, Aquarius. It's time. You free yourself, right? Free yourself is really factoring in large in these forecasts. You come across a Hermit energy, you round out the week with Empress. So I'm going to say for some of you, you either come across someone who helps you to lay this down, like a teacher, a spiritual teacher, a guide, a healer, someone that you respect, or someone that has a lot of wisdom in your eyes and that is able to sort of help you, that you are able to open up to. It could also be that you decide to make this journey for yourself by laying down these burdens and going off on your own to take a personal journey, right? Spiritual journey. But I feel here this is much more a feeling of someone coming in to help you. Because with Earthworm, the initiate, I feel like this is definitely someone you've come across, a teacher in your life, a wise person who come across that is helping you through this. And you round the week off with Empress energy in a sense that you find your feet. You know, they give you the help that you need. They give you the understanding that you need. You only needed a little bit of sort of oomph, a little bit of support, a little bit of reassurance. You know, it's this idea that people are like, oh, you know, here to help everybody else. We're all here to help each other, and oftentimes it's only just a little bit of advice or wisdom or experience that somebody can offer somebody else. But nobody else, nobody out there has some sort of secret pipeline to the divine that nobody else has, or some sort of special powers. All of that is just really a lot of ego talk. We're all sort of very much spirits, souls, making our way. You know, we've all had many lifetimes, and we couldn't possibly begin to know where each of us are in our own journey. So to even begin to try to judge who is worthy of teaching who what is kind of ridiculous. But with the wise man, the hermit energy, oftentimes a hermit or a teacher will come into your life not with that sort of sense or aura at all. Oftentimes the strongest, most impactful teachers come into your lives as people whom are just being themselves, but the way they're being themselves is impacting you, is teaching you something. Or they have an experience that they share with you and it's giving you inspiration, or it's impacting you, right? The greatest teachers don't come into your life announcing that they're here to teach you all of the wonders of the world, right? And so in this way, this meeting with this person could be new, or it could be somebody you know, but it's going to be someone who you definitely feel like has something worth offering to you, you know, has something worth talking about with you. And they may not even know it themselves, but you'll recognize it. Again, like Hawk energy, this is a case of opening up and being prepared and ready for when the divine sends you, or when fate sends something your way. And they could very well be sending this person your way. And it's a beautiful outcome. Empress energy, you feel absolutely realigned. You feel right back where you are. You just needed a little bit of oomph. You got what you needed, and you lay down your burden, and you come right away into your garden, your Empress energy, and you're resonating high and feeling great. All right, my beautiful Aquarius, this is your reading for December 8th to the 14th. I do hope that you remember to let me know if you're interested in the Spirit Animal Oracle giveaway. Just be subscribed and leave me a comment. Go ahead and check out your other readings that are all in the description. They're linked there. There's an unboxing video for that deck also, where you can see all of the cards. I go through them. You can follow the links on your screens for private reading. People have asked in comments for private reading. Just go ahead and follow those links. Tarot answers are just 10-minute recordings to answer your questions. You must please follow the directions or the description for these services, because for tarot answers I require you to actually ask me a question. They're not general readings, and so I do get a lot of people who do book them and then they ask for a general reading, and so that's not really that service. It's really to answer a specific question along with some background. So don't forget to do that when you're booking. And for right now, Aquarius, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I shall see you next week. Bye-bye now.